Hi, hello everyone, welcome into my channel. My name is Jer, and I did a drag race simulator a couple of weeks ago, and I wanted to do another one because that last one was kind of a test run to see how things were gonna go, and to see if I liked even doing these. I think they're really fun because a lot of us wonder what would happen in these alternate universes where we could have certain contestants come together and compete in an all-star scenario. That would very likely never happen. And so I wanted to do these because we all use the drag race sim in our own ways, and it's always fun to peek at it. So today I want to do an all winners too, with some of the most iconic winners in my opinion, and some of my favorites that I would like to see that I don't know if we'll ever get a chance to come on to Drag Race All Winners 2, or would even be invited. And now before you ask, where is my favorite winner? Just because I didn't include them today, doesn't mean I can't include them later. This All Winners is going to focus very hard on big personalities and big comedy presence. One contestant I can't attest to their English abilities, but we're going to AU that they know exactly what they're doing here, and that they would be fine. So let's get into this cast, shall we? Starting out, we have Alaska Thunderfun. I love Alaska. I've been waiting for her to be a part of WoW again, and I feel like because of her presence with Willem, I don't think they care much for this diva. We have Boob the Dark Quen. Does anyone remember RuPaul's Dark Res? I don't think any of y'all remember RuPaul's Dark Res. Bob the Drag Queen is such a fantastic winner, one of the funniest, and I think one of the most likely to take over the show in a scenario where Ru decided to pass it off to someone. If Ru didn't just give it straight to Raven, because they share the same makeup products anyway. Then we have Simone of Drag Race Season 13. Love Simone, love what she does, love what she did on the show, and I would love to see her again because she has so much charisma and presence, and I think would really be able to keep up with queens like Alaska and Bomb. Then we have Paranka of Canada 1. There are a lot of Canadian winners that I would love to see on an all winners season, but Paranka is one that I think deserves to have a shot first. We have Raja O'Hara, the winner of Canada versus the World. I love Raja a lot, and I think it's important to feature the versus the world winners because they have a lot more to prove than I think some of these other girls do. Their seasons were generally shorter than a lot of the seasons that these other winners had, and I think people often doubt why they won because XYZ. Raja is one of those queens who had such a great redemption arc and is good at literally everything and would provide a great breath of fresh air in this group of higher comedy queens where she's funny and smart, but in a different way than some of these other girls are. Next up, we have Tia Coffey, the winner of Drag Race UK versus the World 2. Another versus the world winner that I thought was important to feature. Tia's someone who received a lot of backlash for her win unnecessarily because the fans are horribly racist, and y'all need to cut that shit out. It's exhausting. Tia is fantastic, really funny, has had such a glow up from her season, and I think would work well with this group. From Holland Season 1, we have NV Peru. I obviously do really want to see Vanessa Van Cartier come back for an all winners, but we gotta have NV first. And finally, from Drag Race Thailand Season 3, we've got Frankie Wonga. Now I know that a lot of people want Angeli, and I do want Angeli Anang as well, but I freaking love Frankie Wonga, and I think Frankie would work well with this group and have more synergy here than I think Angeli would, because Frankie is a weird freak in the same way that a lot of these other girls are. Again, I don't know how much English Frankie speaks. She spoke quite a bit here and there through her season, so I would assume that she's got enough comprehension to be able to get through the bulk of these challenges, but we're gonna wave a magic wand and say, Frankie speaks perfect English. So shall we start? Once again, I have my notebook. I'm gonna be taking notes and sharing my opinions on who I think would do well in various challenges and who I think would have the most stars at the end. And as before, I'll be skipping through a bulk of this dialogue because a lot of it is all generated randomly and it doesn't sometimes make sense. Our very first maxi challenge is a room mix of American. End me now, this is the worst possible scenario for a first challenge. Like, big woof, honestly. I think we can pretty much count out the international girls from being able to really serve this. It's kind of rudely ironic that we would have Frankie Wonga and Priyanka and Envy Peru and Tia Coffee doing an American verse. Like, this is just rude. The simulator needs to read the room. I think it's very likely that the top two are going to be Bob and probably Simone. So initially, I'm gonna give them the win on my end, but what does the simulator think? The judging for the sim is saying that Simone, Tia, Alaska, and Frankie were the tops of the week. And Tia and Simone are the top two, with Simone flopping the lip sync. I'm gonna say now, this scenario would never happen in real life. Tia is the winner and gives the platinum plunger to Bob, which is a great competitive decision, but realistically, that's not what would happen. Oh, what a wild ride this simulator's already taken. At least it got Simone in the top. Our next maxi challenge is the Snatch Game. I think some of these girls are gonna be really good. Snatch Game is just one of those challenges that's so tired and boring to me. I'm over it. But I think these girls would genuinely be funny. It's saying Kathy Bates for Simone, and once again, I gotta know what the Drag Race Simulator is smoking, because that's psychotic. I think the obvious top two here is gonna be Alaska and Bob. And I think honestly, Frankie could be pretty funny too, but that's who I'm predicting would win this challenge, so I'm gonna give the tops to both of them. Oh, and I'm also not accommodating for the platinum plunger or the scissors or whatever, because I think that twist is unnecessary. Now, the simulator is saying Bob, Envy, Alaska, and Simone are the tops of the week. And I think that does make sense in my head. Our top two is Bob and Envy. Envy wins the lip sync, which in this universe, Bob was blocked. So I guess it makes more sense to give it to someone who can actually win a star. And they chose to block Frankie, which feels strange to me because I don't think that was necessary. Our next maxi challenge is a ball, and I love a ball. It's a masquerade ball, and the themes are Mask for Mascara, Incogshito, and Masquerade Eleganza. That's actually such a fun ball category. Did this come from somewhere? This had to have come from an international or something. Okay, so for a ball, I'm going to preemptively suggest that Alaska's probably gonna do pretty good because she's got an eye for putting things together. Even if she's not the best seamstress in the world, she knows what she's doing. I'm gonna say that Simone would probably be fine. I think Priyanka would be fine, if not bad, because her sewing skills are suspicious. This, honestly, I think would be Raja's time to win, and I think that Tia would do quite well. And honestly, Frankie turned her ball as well. I'm gonna say that the top two here is gonna be Raja, Frankie. That's who I'm putting my money on, and that's who I'm giving wins to, and you can't stop me. The judging says that Raja, Priyanka, Bob, and Alaska are the tops of the week. Bob and Priyanka in the top was not in my fantasy. It says that Raja and Priyanka are the top two. I see it for Raja, fully hands down boots. I don't see it for Priyanka. Her ball was only okay because Jimbo and Rita were so bad. I think that if it had been, if Alona had been there over Jimbo, I think that Priyanka easily would have been in the bottom. Although who knows, the judges did seem to like Priyanka quite a bit. It says that Raja won the lip sync and decides to give the plunger to Alaska, which that would be the person I would give the plunger to every week. It'd be like Alaska and Bob would be like the ones to block week after week. But I do see it for Raja winning that. Our next maxi challenge is an 80s inspired film named Drag Wreck. So if we're doing an acting challenge, hands down, that's Alaska and Bob to take. I think that they are the definitive top two of a scenario like this. No one is gonna outact either one of them in this group. Tia might give them a run for their money because she is very funny. And I think Simone would do quite well as well. I think that Envy would be fine, and I think Frankie would be fine. I don't think anyone would be bad. But you ain't gonna take a win from Alaska and Bob here. The simulator says that Alaska, Simone, Tia, and Raja are the tops of the week. What is this Bob discrimination that's happening? I don't understand. This is psychotic. And it says that Simone and Alaska are the top two. Alaska 100% makes sense. I think that Simone is very funny, but when Bob the drag queen is here, no. It says that Simone wins the lip sync and gives the plunger to Priyanka. I think that's an odd choice because I would have given it to Bob. Just work here, man. This is a weird simulator. This one's odd. It's like they took the concept of every one of the queens and said, what if we made them not good at the thing they're good at? Our next maxi is a roast about Ross Matthews. Oh boy, my favorite Drag Race judge. I think if I'm looking at this objectively, of the people that are in this group, the ones that are going to be able to roast, I think the most effectively are going to be Bob, Alaska, and Priyanka. Priyanka's got a super sharp tongue, and I think she would be able to come up with some very funny jokes, especially if she had some time to sit and think about them. I think that Tia would be quite funny as well. You know what? I'm gonna go on a limb here and say that Tia would be really knockout funny. And I would love to believe that Bob would have some of the most original jokes of this group. So I'm gonna give it to Bob and Tia. The simulator says that Bob, Raja, Simone, and Alaska are the tops. This top makes sense to me. I think that Tia would still be really funny though. And the top two are going to get a star to give to someone else. So based off of that information and using my rubric here, I think that Bob would maybe give something to someone who hasn't gotten anything on my scorecard. I see Bob being just really nice and wanting to try and help others feel better. So I'm gonna say that Bob is gonna give a star to Envy, and I think that Tia would probably give a star to Priyanka. Bob wins the lip sync, gives the platinum plunger to Tia, and then gives a star to Alaska, and Raja gives a star to Simone. Our next maxi is a girl group for the original song, That's Me. Based off of other girl group numbers, I think that Frankie would be really fun to watch here. And so I'm gonna immediately give the win to Frankie because of everyone here, that's the one I'm keeping my eye on. I think that Simone is super dynamic and has a movement and a presence while lip syncing and presenting that no one in this group really has. And I do think that Priyanka would be fun to watch as well, but I'm gonna give the wins to Simone and Frankie. Poor Envy, I've given her nothing this season. She'll win the Rusical or something. And the simulator saying that Alaska, Tia, Simone, and Envy were the tops of the week. Alaska in a girl group challenge? Huh. Okay. Envy and Alaska are the top two. I don't see it for either one of them, to be honest. They're great, but I don't see it. They both win the lip sync, and Envy gives a plunger to Frankie, and Alaska gives it to Raja. That's insane. Frankie's been safe all season, according to this. This is insane. Our next maxi challenge is an unconventional materials challenge where they have to use recycled items. Based off of this group, I'm looking at my notes here, and I think that Raja is the most likely to win this one. I'm like struggling here. I'm struggling really hard with who else I think would do well. I think it would be probably Frankie. I'm not giving it to Priyanka. I don't care that she was in the top during her unconventional challenge. I'm not giving it to her. You know what? I haven't given Envy any flowers. I think it's possible she'd turn something out. I'm giving it to Frankie. I really think that Frankie would turn this. Raja Frankie, that's my final decision. The simulator says that Simone, Envy, Alaska, and Raja are the tops. You know what? Alaska would do quite well with this. She did well with that garbage bag. Simone cannot construct. I don't remember any sewing challenges in Holland 1, so I don't know what Envy's skills are. Raja's the one that makes the most sense because she can make stuff. Alaska, I think I could maybe make a statement for it, maybe. It says that the top two are Envy and Simone. I almost gave Envy flowers, but I don't know what her construction skills are. It says that Envy is the winner and chooses to give the plunger to Frankie. What is this tie phobia that is happening on this All-Stars season? Look at this. Frankie has gotten 3 plungers and not a win. Not one. If she doesn't get Miss Congeniality, I'm gonna destroy the Drag Race simulator. Our next challenge is a morning TV show, which is the most cursed challenge of all of Drag Race in my opinion. There's always really bad suspicious judging and someone really good always goes home. Or emotional torture happens. I'm gonna say based off of the Thailand challenge, Frankie's gonna kill this one. I know I'm giving a lot of flowers to Frankie this season, but I genuinely think she was a great winner. And I think the other one who would sweep this would be Priyanka. Priyanka's just got this charisma that translates to a TV show. Plus, she used to do kids' TV, so she knows how to do this type of challenge. I need to give flowers to Envy at some point. I've given her dust, and I love her as a winner. I think that Alaska would do quite well, but maybe more in a comedic route. I think that Raja would be really fun to watch in this type of challenge as well. The simulator is gaslighting me once again and not putting my tops there. The simulator says that Bob, Alaska, Simone, and Tia are the tops of the week. Okay, so fuck my drag, I guess. Says that Bob and Tia are the definitive top 2. Tia somehow wins a lip sync against Bob and gives a plunger to Frankie. I am going to riot. Flames on the side of my face. The simulator has got some explaining to do. This is like homophobic. This is bordering on bullying. Our next maxi challenge is a simple runway category, which is Phoenix. We're gonna assume that they gotta like make something because that is not a challenge. A runway? Stupid. If it's gonna be a runway challenge, I think the one who would probably sweep this would be Envy and probably Simone. That's what I'm gonna say no. Envy and Simone are winning this one for me. Finally, the simulator has decided to stop being racist. Frankie is in the top, Envy's in the top, Bob is in the top, and Priyanka's in the top. Frankie and Priyanka are the top 2. Frankie wins the lip sync and decides to give the plunger to Envy. I wouldn't have done that. I would have given it to literally anybody else. Poor Frankie Wonga. She did not deserve this. Our next maxi challenge is a reprise of the Dragaton challenge. Who asked for this? Who demanded that this be in the simulator? I'm gonna lose my mind. Okay, so it's a rusical / dance challenge, right? Envy's taking this, I think. None of these girls are dancers. Simone. We're gonna say Envy and Simone are getting this. I knew that Envy would start getting flowers at some point, at least on my end. The simulator says our tops are Priyanka, Tia, Envy, and Bob. I could maybe see Bob. Tia, it says our top 2 is Priyanka and Tia, and that's crazy to me. That's just crazy. Tia is allegedly the winner of this lip sync, which is also crazy, and no one is getting blocked tonight. Thank God Frankie Wonga is spared. Our next maxi challenge is the contestants will prove themselves in a talent show where they bring all they've got. The writing of that is so silly to me. Give it all you've got, ladies. Let's go out there and make a difference. Talent-wise, I think of everyone that's here, there's gonna be a lot of crazy talents, we'll see. Frankie is a psychopath, and I think would be probably the most entertaining to watch here. So I'm gonna give her preemptively the win. And I think someone else to really show a strong talent, it's either gonna be Priyanka or Envy. I'm gonna give a win to Priyanka here. The simulator says our top 4 are Envy, Priyanka, Frankie, and Simone. This makes sense to me. Finally, we have reached a consensus. I do think that Simone would kill it. This week, the top 2 are getting 3 stars instead of 1. Envy and Priyanka are the top 2, so they're getting 3s. Okay, so then that changes everything because that means I'm giving 2 more stars to Priyanka and I'm giving 2 more stars to Frankie. It says that Envy wins and Priyanka's safe. No one's getting blocked. Thank God. I believe we're going into the finale now, right? All right, I've tabulated the scores and my top 4 for this simulator is Frankie, Priyanka, Simone, and Bob. That totally makes sense with this style of All-Stars. If it was a lot more acting challenges, it would have been Alaska probably. But because there were so many challenges that Alaska doesn't thrive in, it was hard to justify giving her wins. And I mean, these challenges were so tailored to things that Frankie is good at. And if y'all have not seen Drag Race Thailand Season 3, Frankie's batshit talent show performance was a knockout, and I know that she would bring something just as conceptual and funny to All Stars. She still would have been in the top regardless because I do think these challenges were more tailored to her. The simulator says that the queens going on to the finale are Envy, Priyanka, Simone, and Tia. And then there will be a She Done Already Done Had Hers. Based off of who's left in this group, I'm gonna say that the ones who would win lip syncs and be at the very end would be Raja and Envy, depending on how this got matched up. And I think, honestly, the winner would be Raja. But it's very, very close that Envy could get it. And then based off of the lip syncs, I'm gonna see what the simulator is saying. I think based off of the top 4, I think it would be very likely that it would be probably Priyanka and Simone, if not Simone and Bob. It's between them. If Simone is in the finale with Bob, I think Bob would win. If Simone is in the top with Priyanka, I think Simone would win. Because I love Frankie Wanga, but she lip syncs like an auntie who's had like 3 champagnes at karaoke night. And I love that about her. But she's just like there for a vibe. It says that the very first lip sync is Frankie versus Bob and then Raja versus Alaska. I think that Bob would probably take this, and I think that Raja would take it. Frankie apparently wins. And it says that Raja doesn't know the words to the song, which would never happen. Dirty? No way. No way. Absolutely not. Alaska to Dirty would be so crazy to watch. That would be like when we had Manila lip syncing to Nasty by Janet Jackson. Like, it would just be weird to watch, I think. Like, we're not supposed to watch that. Then we've got Frankie and Alaska to Waka Waka, this time for Africa by Shakira. Ah! No. Oh, stop. I hate that. I can't recover from that. I gotta end the video. Goodbye, everybody. Oh, okay. Alaska wins, allegedly. So now we've got the finale SmackDown where it's Tia versus Priyanka, where Priyanka's gonna sweep that. Let's not mince words. And then we've got Simone and Envy, where honestly, this could go either way, but I'm feeling like it's gonna be Simone. The song is Say So by Doja Cat, and Priyanka is the one who wins, obviously. And then Simone to Envy have Conga by Gloria Estefan. Come on, everybody, come and do the conga. No. Is that the song? Please tell me that's not this song. Stop this right now. I need this to end. I need this season to be done. I think that Envy would kill that, to be honest. And that feels pointed, considering that she's Peruvian. Simone is the one who beats her? Absolutely not. Never in a million years. Never, ever, ever. Then Priyanka and Simone have to lip sync to Brutal by Olivia Rodrigo. I think, honestly, this would be Simone's win, but watch, the simulator's been completely off book. The winner, allegedly. It's Simone, thank God. Jesus Christ. Mary, Joseph, all the saints and Catholics. At least something good happened at the end of this. I did predict that Simone could have won. Would have been her or Bob, in my opinion. This was the most psychotic thing I've ever seen in my life. What the fuck was that? Well, y'all, thank you for watching this really insane Drag Race Simulator video. Let me know who you think would have won out of this entire group. The challenges would have very likely been constructed differently in a world where all these girls ended up together. But it was still fun to do this. I hope you had fun, and I will see y'all on the flip. God, poor Frankie Wanga. Like, that was just evil.